I know I usually review books that kind of show you how to build things, but as I was going through like my library list of Star Wars books, I saw the Lego Star Wars Choose Your Path, Be the Hero, Discover the Galaxy storybook here with more than 40 endings. I had to check it out and see what these kind of books were like, and I'm really glad I did. I think it's a really cool concept and idea. And I think it's great for our younger audience who are just kind of, they're able to read chapter books and they're really into Legos, and I think it's encouraging reading things just over and over because you keep getting different stories. And then this is just kind of like an introduction to the book and how you can choose your different paths and you're basically just doing the 3 storylines. You got the prequels, the original trilogy, and then the new ones that hadn't finished yet, so the story's a little different than what the movies ended up being, but I'm okay with that because I hated the last movie. But anyway, you'll see C-3PO in some of the books, and apparently he gives you clues on how to choose your path or what might be the right path to choose, but to be honest with you, he's not always that helpful. But he's in there, and then so here we've got the Jedi Starfighter, and each book's kind of the same. They give you a brief description of the vehicle that is kind of featured, and then they also talk about just something like special about it, as well as the story. And now the box here is the story, and then once you read it, you go down here and like, well, do you want to do this? There are signs of Sith activity on planet Tatooine, then go to page 13. Or join the clone troopers on planet Utapu to find out what they know, on page 9, and you just go from there. And you see similar thing here, and that's kind of the way it is on each page. But it's kind of fun because not only do you get the story, but you also get little facts about the ships within it. And that's one thing about this book is usually all the Lego Star Wars books, they do a lot of promotion for the sets themselves. But this is really about the story, and every now and then they do give these build it theories and like of what to do, kind of games to play along with, like Home 1 is huge, but your own base doesn't have to be. Make a tiny version that can fit in the palm of your hands. They give these little building challenges as you go on, and some are really cool, some are like, okay, but I appreciate what they're doing and trying to do, because it's an interactive book. And again, for the younger readers who are just, they're past the picture books, they're into chapter books, I think this is a really great thing to kind of encourage them to read and choose their different adventures. You kind of see this build, it's not on every page, but a lot of them. And then as we go on through here, you can kind of see how some of it takes place in the movie. Other things you're like, well, wait a second, this wasn't in any of the movies. So they do kind of create their own things that go on. And on this page, you're going to see a red circle. Well, this means you failed. So whatever choice you chose was the wrong path. And so you can do these. So if you see these things in red, it means you went the wrong path and you have to start over. Say, go back and choose another path. And there's a few of those throughout the book. So you can actually make the wrong decision, as you can see here, and fail your missions. But every now and then you'll see something like this that's green, and you actually are successful, but it might not be the end of the story. So yes, you helped, Chewbacca out here, but that's not your mission. Your mission is to destroy the Empire, to find the Sith, or whatever it might be. So yes, you completed something, but it's not what you needed to do. So that's what. So here we got C-3PO. Running on sand is really hard work, and that's your clue for race right, where you see somebody riding on an animal, or run left, where you spy a land speeder crossing the desert. So again, was that a helpful hint? I think Lego is being generous with that. But it is kind of fun for not only seeing, the Star Wars vehicles, the storylines, but also seeing these sets, because you do get some really great pictures. And I appreciate that they're not shoving it down and you're going to like, buy this set. This is where you can find this set, which I find is a lot of these Lego books tend to do. It's always fun to see a Slave 1 build. And then some older sets we might not see anymore. Like I remember this Dewback coming out once, and now we get it again with the new Mos Eisley set. And then got another thing. Oh, Force facts. There's also some of these things here. There are thousands of Jedi in the Galactic Republic. They lead to the Grand Army in battle against the Separatists, commanding vast battalions of clone troopers. So these Force facts, they're just kind of additional bits of information. And, most of them for us big Star Wars fans are going to be kind of like, yeah, of course. But, here you can see Poe Dameron's X-Wing fighter right next to the Star Wars one, the original trilogy. And I do, the other thing I really enjoy is it's not linear. Even though we're on page 47 here, you can go up to 89 and back to 27. So you really are flipping back and forth in these books. And, you know, having younger kids now, I know that's also a really cool thing to have because, you know, a lot of this, you know, when they're looking for information, they've got to go back through dictionaries, encyclopedias, different resource materials. So this kind of like makes a fun way for them not even realize that they're kind of going back and forth, looking through books to try to find the information they want to find. So that was another thing that kind of was like, oh, it's, you know, it's kind of fun how you can get different skills that even though it's a fun activity, you're actually building a life skill of looking for information, skimming through books, especially now because with the internet, I feel like we're losing a lot of things that, you know, we used to just do and take for granted. Like a dictionary, you know, has kind of become obsolete, but, you know, and even though a map book is not something you would have or you pull out a paper map, you still need to know how to read a map when you pull it up online. So the skills you can learn is also like I have a nice little thing here. You're learning reading, you're seeing Lego sets, you're learning Star Wars facts, you're getting building challenges, and again, you're there's just these little skills every now and then that you don't even realize that these kids are learning by checking out these books. So that's kind of cool. And then the other thing I do like is there were some of these things like I remember. Like I never remember seeing this set, so now I'm going to go back for me personally and look for the set and see when did Lego make it. Now here we have the only problem with getting books from the library. Page 76 and 77 will ever remain a mystery to me because of a library book, and somehow that page got ripped out and it's still in circulation, so I'm going to have to let the library know this book is missing a page when I return it. And again, this is definitely not for your older readers, but for younger readers, it's just really a great book. And here we got 2 failed missions, 3 failed missions. Ow, this book can be brutal. And then, oh, there was actually, as we come to the end here, you're going to see something where, of the Empire, oh, End of the Empire. So here you actually did finish the story. So you could end your story here on page 96 for this particular quest, but you can also go back and choose another path. They encourage you to don't just use this book once, read it a lot of times. And you know, I think that's one thing that some of us kind of forget is like, we'll read a book and then put it aside, but when you get a book like this, it's just usable over and over and over, which is really nice because it kind of shows you how print is not completely dead. And so when I was looking through this book, I was like, oh, I still need to make this in micro scale. I forgot about that. So that's my own personal thing there. And then, but yeah, you can kind of see as we're coming to the end here, there's more and more of these green boxes, while before we were seeing more and more of the red boxes. Mission accomplished. Can't be more than that. And then we have a little glossary for, you know, some words that our kids might not know. You know, the bounty hunter, someone who's paid to find or destroy people or objects. All right, that's nice because, you know, my definition of bounty hunter might not be so kid-friendly. So I like that little glossary there. Padawan. So, you know, there are Jedi terms as well that aren't in our vocabulary, but as a Star Wars fan, you should know. And here's our little end title scene. I thought this was interesting because the back cover had like the back of a Lego bag. So if you had if you bought a poly bag, this would be on the back, or this would be one of the inside cover of your instruction manual. So I think it's funny that the last kind of page or back of this book is actually kind of that end Lego tag, and it's the instruction manuals and poly bags. But anyway, here is your book, the Lego Choose Your Path adventure book for Star Wars. And again, I really recommend this for younger readers who enjoy reading or might even need a little encouragement to read beyond the picture books and kind of get into chapter books because they get to start reading.
If you enjoyed this video, please subscribe or check out some of our other videos. Until next time, let's keep building together.